Say we're on.
Hey, Shalom. We the real Hebrew Israelites. We come out every week, prophesy the downfall of this kingdom, America, which is called the daughter of Babylon in the Bible. To teach you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're the Lord's chosen people on this sign, 12 tribes of Israel. We want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of the great millstone camp for teaching us the truths of the Bible. Peace and blessings to the whole elect scattered around the world. Shalom.
So this week I didn't get nothing ready. It's just I do have some things to say, but you know, I'm still watching the apostles, and it looks like we're going back to basics. Like whatever they teach, we teach.
That's right.
So we're going back to the basics on like who is this man? Who is the man that started all this? Right? Who's Abraham? Who's Isaac? And who's Jacob?
Man, that's my lesson today. Is the blessing of Abraham.
Well, and that's the spirit, because I'm not like, oh, let's see if I get it right. No, I'm not. That's what I was thinking about this whole week. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Yeah, the lineage.
The lineage. And it was spiritual because one of my coworkers, she named her little son Isaac. So I've been thinking about this whole week. I seen that little dude last Saturday, and I've been thinking about Isaac this whole week. So, you know, I got a couple of scriptures. Can you give me John 3:16? See, that's why I didn't have anything. I did have something, and this is what I had, but he's going to go into the same thing. But I'm going to just warm you up. Because in Revelation 1, and I'm going to start at 12. It from 12 to 15 and 16, 14, 15, and 16, it'll tell you what you believe in. But let's get John 3:16 first. Let's warm it up.
John 3:16, for the Most High so loveth the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life.
4 things. He gave up his only begotten Son. Now, who's that? From the tribe of Judah, because Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob started this lineage, and it's from the tribe of Judah. So what was the second part? He loves for the who? For the world?
Yep.
The world is right here. Go ahead.
For the Most High so loveth the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believe in him should not perish but have everlasting life.
Everlasting life. So this is the everlasting life we're looking for, because this has no life. We call ourselves Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Well, Latino doesn't even describe who we are. Neither does Hispanic, because we're all Israelites. Now, I'm gonna get this real quick. Not real quick, but I'm gonna get it in spirit. Revelation 1, and starting at 12. And I turned to see the voice that spake with me, and being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks. So the Lord was down here on earth, and then he got crucified, and then he was in the spirit world, came back after three days. So on the 4th day he came back, and they saw him in a different form, because the apostles were walking and they saw Yahushua, but they didn't realize who it was. Okay, so he was here. He really does exist. Verse 13, and in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. That sounds like a warrior to me. That sounds like a warrior. And we're warriors too, because we're out here and it's kind of chilly. See, that woman just saved herself. She bowed her head and gave us a thumb up. That's all she has to do. And I was thinking about that too. A woman's job is fucking easy. All she has to do is believe and latch on to her husband. But it's harder for the man. Why? Because the man has more questions. And this is a slow train, so, and that's why I put the camera a little closer. That's a work train. You see how it has engines in front? The engine represents the head. So the head is going first. So let's say that the engines are the apostles. And they had 4 engines, right? So you have to follow the apostles because they're the all-around teachers. I'm going to give this train a little bit more time. This is a big one. This is an important intro to the lesson. Okay, so John is saying, John heard Yahushua because he was groveling on the floor. He was afraid. The angel came down home and he was talking to John. Verse 12 says, "And I turned to see the voice that spake with me, and being turned I saw 7 golden candlesticks, representing the 7 churches, or the menorah, which indicates the number of completion, right? 7 is the number of completion. You got those pictures? Start taking it. He's going to change your life. See, just like this changed our life. So, verse 13 says, "And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one, like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the path with a golden girdle. His head and hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire." So his hair is like wool. Okay, so only one group of people in the whole planet have that quality of hair, and it's Judah, the tribe of Judah, the so-called Negroes. So now, let's go back. Verse 15, "And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters." So his feet are dark. That means his arms are dark. His whole body is dark. Okay? And then after I get Matthew 1:1, read John 3:16. So the scripture that the brother got earlier was, "Whoever he gave his only begotten Son to the world for salvation if you believe in him," right? So I just gave you the description of him. He's a dark-skinned so-called black man. And this is Matthew 1:1. "The book of the generation of Yahushua Mashiach, the son of David, the son of Abraham." So now it's getting even more complicated, because how could he be the son of David and the son of Abraham and be Yahushua? That's because there's reincarnation. And he was Isaac too. Yahushua was Isaac. That's why Isaac gave the blessing to both of his sons. He gave the blessing and the promise to Jacob, and he gave the blessing of the sword to Esau. So if you believe all that, and read John 3:16.
John 3:16, "For the Most High so loved the world, that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life."
So it's not how you want to believe, it's what I just read to you. Do you believe that? And if you do believe that, then it was meant for you to receive it, and then you're going to be blessed. So let's go into your lesson, because it's going to be good. I know it's going to be good.
That's right. So in order to receive the promise that the Most High gave Abraham, you have to be one of Abraham's descendants. You know, you have to be a relative bloodline through Abraham's lineage. You know, because that's what it really all starts with, is Abraham. It's in Genesis 12. Genesis 12 and 1 and 2.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 12, verse 1 and 2. "Now Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will shew thee, and I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing.
So right here, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, he's telling Abraham that he's going to make him a great nation, you know, and what he means by a great nation, he means a great nation means like a great multitude, you know, a great number. You know, that's how you know who are the Israelites, because the Israelites, they're scattered throughout the whole world, and we fill up the whole world, you know.
Yeah, that's right. And there's also other nations from Abraham, not just the nation of Israel. They got the whole world basically, because after Abraham is really the father of the Ishmaelites.
Yep.
That's Ishmael.
Yep, that's what I was going to go into too, because Abraham, you know, he had Isaac, and then he had Ishmael. You know?
He had Ishmael first, and then he had Isaac, and then he had those 6 sons with Keturah. So that's 8 sons. So you could be thinking to yourself, how does that happen? How does 8 men turn into a nation? Well, we have multiple wives, and we have a culture to keep up to, and not only that, our power, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, made it so. Because with Ishmael, he gave him a blessing, and even though he wasn't the chosen line, so he blesses everybody. Just don't be a crybaby and say you want our blessing, because we got the blessing. We're gonna get the blessing.
Yep. So read down.
Verse 2? Or 1?
Yeah.
Okay. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great. Hey, everybody wants to be from Abraham, right? Everybody says that.
Everybody wants to be a Jew.
Yep, everybody does. And make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing.
So he's gonna make his name great. He's gonna make the Israelites like the sand of the sea. And it's gonna go into it. We'll go to Genesis 13 and 14.
This is Genesis 13 and 14. And Yahweh Bashim Yahushai said unto Abraham, after that Lot was separated from him, lift up now thine eyes, and look from the place where thou art, northward and southward, eastward and westward.
So Yahweh Yahushai is now telling Abram to lift up your eyes and to look all around, which is east, north, west, and south. You know, to look all around. And why is he going to look all around? Because
he's going to look all around because for all the land which thou seest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed forever.
See, so everywhere you look, you know, this is all ours, you know, for Abraham and his seed.
And that part right there, everything you see, northward, eastward, southward, westward, that goes into history, because Edom has what as its mascot, the eagle, and the eagle flies high and it sees everything. So that's their blessing. And remember, I told you I have the ring, a Nazi ring, with the eagle that has 2 heads, one facing this way, and the wings up. That means they're going to conquer from westward to eastward, and basically that's the whole planet. See, but we're not going to conquer anything like that. We're going to get it given to us. So that's what that one means. Verse 16. And I will make thy seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man can number the dust of the earth, then shall thy seed also be numbered.
All right, so he's going to make it like the dust of the earth, and if you could number the dust of the earth, then that means you could number Israel.
And I don't think you can ever you can't even number the dust on your shoes.
Right.
And the dust is vast, because there's dust on my car every freaking day. Let's say you wash your car every day. There's gonna be dust on that every day, which is similitude to, you can't get rid of the Israelites. Somewhere around this planet, it's going to be Israelites. Let me read that one again. From 15, this is Genesis 13, 15, and 16. For all the land which thou seest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed forever. And I will make thy seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man can number the dust of the earth, then shall thy seed also be numbered.
That's right. So he's going to give us the whole earth. He's not just going to give us a little piece of the earth, because how's he going to give a whole bunch of Israelites a little piece of the earth? You know, that's why we're numbered so great, so that we could, you know, roam throughout the earth.
And part of that blessing is because what the brother's saying, we're gonna be a big house. Like we're gonna have to move to other planets. Because just look at Abraham and Lot, his nephew. They couldn't even live in the same area because their cows, their people, and all their household was too great. They couldn't share it. So they had to move and separate. And I love that smell of when it's fresh rain. Fresh rain, it smells good.
Now we go to Genesis 15 and 1.
Genesis 15 and 1. After these things, the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai came unto Abram in a vision, saying, Fear not, Abram, I am thy shield and thy exceeding great reward.
So Yahweh Shai came to Abram in a dream, and he told him, I am your shield and your reward. So that's two things. A shield is for protection. You know, that's why we have Yahweh Shai for protection. And then number two, he's our reward. You know, he's our savior. You know? And that's only to Abram. You didn't hear him say, I'm your shield to Edom or any other nation. So it says, fear not, Abram. So that's the Israelites. So the Israelites are not to fear, because Yahweh Shai is our shield and reward.
And he showed us what kind of a shield he is. He got us out of Egypt. And every time there was a captivity, he did something with the chariots. And thy exceeding great reward. Like the brother said, the whole planet is ours. This is Romans 9 and 13. As it was written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So when the Lord told Abraham, fear not, I am thy shield and thy exceeding great reward, he's basically telling him, look, I love you, but I hate Esau. And Abraham knew that the Lord hated iniquity. Look what he did to Sodom and Gomorrah. Now that was a jack move. That was a show of power right there. And it goes to show that if you have great faith in the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you will be rescued. Because even that Ammonite that was with Holofernes, the Assyrian or the Babylonian, he was telling that captain, look, these people are great people and they have power. So they wanted to kill that captain of the Ammonites. So they gave him to the Israelites, and guess what the Israelites did with him? They after they heard the story of what he did, they untied him and took him in the house, and then they rescued him basically.
We could go to Genesis 17.
All right, this is Genesis 17, well, the first one.
Yeah.
And when Abraham was 90 years old and 9, well, he was 99, Yahweh Shem Yahushai appeared to Abraham and said unto him, I am the Almighty Power. Walk before me, and be thou perfect.
So he's already 99 years old, and he hasn't had any kids.
Not yet, but he will. Verse 2.
Yep.
And I will make my covenant between me and thee, and will multiply thee exceedingly.
So Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai told him he's gonna make a covenant, make a promise with him and his children, you know, and him thinking he can't have no children, that makes him laugh, you know.
Yeah.
That's why the next verse it says,
and Abraham fell on his face, and Elohim talked with him, saying, "What do you think he was talking to him?" He was like, "Motherfucker, get up!" Because, hey, look at what he's telling us. Look at what Yahweh said. He's telling me and you, look, you keep doing this, and you're gonna have the whole universe. Except we ain't laughing because we seen those chariots. The whole universe.
Because Abraham didn't believe him, you know.
But that's why he had to go through that. Because, well, I'm gonna keep reading. Verse 4. As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. So now Abraham's laughing because he can't even have one child. Now he's gonna have billions of childs. We're Abraham's seed. Verse 5. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abraham, but thy name shall be Abraham. For a father of many nations have I made thee.
That's why his name got changed.
And if your name gets changed, that means that your whole personality has to change. Because Abraham didn't believe, but Abraham does believe. See how that's easy? It's like a switch of a coin. Verse 6. Well, first let me get Romans 4 and 17. For the scripture said unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might shew my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. That's exactly why we're doing it. So we were in Genesis 16 or 17? 17 and 6. And I will make thee exceeding fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee.
That's where you get all the kings from in the Old Testament.
Basically all the kings of the earth, because they have to come from that kingly line. They can't be just set up like Donald Trump. He wasn't just set up right now. His lineage has been that of a king from the Edomite line. Let me read that one again. And I will make thee exceeding fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee.
Make you fruitful. Fruitful meaning you're going to have a lot of kids. Meaning the Israelites, they like to
do it. They like to produce.
Yeah, like to produce.
And they start early too. Some Israelites have children at 13.
Some of them can't even take care of them, you know?
That's a curse. But
some of them want to throw them away.
That's right. Some
of them kill them. I heard, I think not too long ago, a local woman, she drowned her 3 children. She drowned them because she didn't want the father to be involved with them.
See how weak that is? So she's gonna get her reward. She's gonna get drowned. So if she killed 4 lives, she's gonna have to drown 4 times. Verse 7 is the banger right here. And well, let me get this other one. Romans 9 and 4. Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of Yahweh and the promises. That's all for us. This is Genesis 17 and 7. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed after thee in their generations for an everlasting covenant, to be a power unto thee and to thy seed after thee.
So that's a promise for generations.
Yeah. You know how these white folks, they have generational wealth? Like, let's say George Washington was somebody's grandfather right here. That line has been wealthy since George Washington, since 1774. All the way till now.
And the Most High, he ain't somebody to say something and then take it back. You know, once he says something, it's done.
It's gonna fall through. Verse 8. And I will give unto thee and to thy seed after thee the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their power.
So we could skip down to verse 17.
17 in the book of Genesis. Then Abraham fell upon his face and laughed.
So like, start at 15.
15, okay, yeah.
Better understand.
So, Genesis 17 and 15. And Elohim said unto Abraham, as for Sarai thy wife, thou shalt not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall her name be.
And then Sarai got her name changed to Sarah too, you know?
They both got their name changed.
Because she's going to be a mother of nations, like
Yeah.
I think it's going to say.
And I will bless her and give thee a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her.
See, so Abraham, his kids come through her too.
And then that's hard to believe, man. That's hard to accept, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's hard to deal with.
That's why the world tries to incorporate, you know.
Oh, I'm from the line of Abraham.
Yeah. Because
Especially the military.
the Arabs, you know, they come from the line of Abraham, which is the Ishmaelites. That's why they have all this Muslim.
Yeah,
You know?
and that's why they have the Quran, because they talk about Abraham and Ishmael. They talk about Ishmael too, but they have their little blessing, and it says that they're all going to be blessed, not just us. It says they're all going to be blessed, so they all have their time. Verse 17. Then Abraham fell upon his face and laughed and said in his heart, shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old? And shall Sarai that is 90 years old bear?
Yeah, so this is when he fell to his face and laughed, because he didn't believe a 100-year-old man could have kids.
And that's why we're the children of the promise, because Yahweh Shai promised him. Look, dude. He must have been pissed at Abraham. Even though with all his calmness and cool, here you are, a power telling your subject, I'm gonna make this happen for you. And all he could do is laugh. Like, he wasn't just, he was fucking on the floor laughing. It says he fell on his face. You ever had one of those times where somebody says something outrageous and they have a serious look on their face, but it's so hilarious to you? That's what he was doing. And Abraham said unto Elohim, oh, that Ishmael might live before thee. So he already had Ishmael.
So right there, Abraham, he had Ishmael, and Abraham thought that the Most High was talking about Ishmael. You know, he thought that Ishmael was going to be the one that had the blessing. You know, that's why he said, "Oh, you're talking about Ishmael." You know.
So that shows you how
That's where you get it mixed up.
Yeah.
You know?
That shows you how stupid people are. People don't fucking get it. Abraham didn't get it right there. Because he saw it. Because we all do it as human beings. Like you don't hear what you want to hear. You don't hear what's being said. You hear what you want to hear. Like if somebody's in a meeting with me and they're telling me stuff, I write it down because I'm not listening. And I'm already bored out of my mind and I'm not fucking listening. But if it's important, I'll be like, okay. I got here's this.
If the prophets didn't write down the words in this Bible, we wouldn't have it right now.
Yeah, so everything was important that's written in here. Okay?
So read 18 and 19 together.
And Abraham said unto Elohim, "Oh, that Ishmael might live before thee." And Elohim said, "Sarai thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac, and I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him."
So basically, Yahweh Shimon Shai is telling Abraham, he's saying, no, not Ishmael. He's saying, I'm going to give you a son. You're going to call him Isaac. You know?
He said, "Not that nigga."
Yep. And he's the one that I'm going to give the promise to.
Man,
That's kind of...
that's cold.
Yeah.
Because here we have Abraham. You know he loves Ishmael. You know he loves Ishmael. I mean, there's people in my family that I think are my favorite, like my niece. She's mean and everything. She's mean to everybody though, but that's what the quality I like about her. But she's the one that I we agree on stuff. Everybody else is like, but her, she'll ignore me and be mean to me, but she won't be that mean because we have the same personality. So Ishmael, he might have had a different personality that he was given. So he was given that personality, and with that personality comes a duty. Because Ishmael's hand is going to be against every man's hand. And what was he doing in the whole history? He helped steal Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, capture them, and sell them into captivity. And all the wars that he's been going in and doing with us. Verse 20. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him, and I will make him fruitful, and I will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation.
So right here, Yahweh Shimon Shai is saying